The bedroom was quiet, the only light a faint glow from the street outside. My wife Rachel lay beside me, her frustration palpable after I turned away from her advance. We'd been married 7 years, our intimacy once a spark that kept us close. But lately, work stress and her sharp critiques had dulled it. That night, when I pulled back, she laughed, a cold, biting sound. "What's wrong with you, Ben? Not man enough to sleep with your wife." Her words cut deep, a mockery that echoed in the dark. I lay still, her laughter a knife twisting in my chest. Rachel's confidence had always drawn me, but her recent jabs about my long hours at the construction firm, my exhaustion, had chipped away at me. I'd been working overtime to save for our dream home, but her words made me feel small, inadequate. "That's not fair," I said, my voice low. But she just rolled over, dismissing me. The sting wasn't new. She'd mocked my insecurities before, and I'd let it slide, hoping it was just stress. The next morning, over coffee, Rachel acted like nothing happened, chatting about her teaching job. I couldn't shake her words, though they'd cracked something in me. I thought of our early years, her warm laughter, our stolen moments. When had that faded? At breakfast, I set my mug down, my heart heavy but resolute. "Rachel, I want a divorce," I said, my voice steady. Her smile vanished, her eyes wide as if I'd pulled the ground from under her. She laughed again, nervous, thinking I was bluffing. "You're not serious," she said, her voice trembling. I nodded, unflinching. "I'm done being your target. I deserve better than your mockery." Tears spilled down her cheeks, her hands shaking as she reached for me. "I didn't mean it, Ben," she whispered, her voice breaking. "I was just upset." But her tears couldn't erase the hurt, the way her words had stripped me bare. I stood, grabbing my keys, needing space. "I'll stay at a motel for now," I said. Rachel followed, pleading, her voice raw. "Please, let's talk." I looked at her, the woman I'd loved through hard times, and said, "You laughed at me for not being enough. I can't live like that." Her sobs echoed as I left, the door closing softly. My calm, not my anger, had shaken her, showing her I was serious. At the motel, the room was stark. The hum of the air conditioner my only company. Rachel's texts came, apologies, promises to change, but I didn't reply. I replayed our marriage, her support when I started at the firm, my pride in her teaching, the slow drift as her words turned sharp. Her mockery wasn't new. It was a pattern, one I'd ignored too long. Asking for a divorce wasn't about hurting her. It was about valuing myself. I met with a lawyer the next day, not to file, but to know my options. Rachel called, begging to meet at a diner. Her eyes were red, her voice desperate. "I was wrong," she said. I felt rejected, so I lashed out. "I love you." I listened, but the wound was fresh. "You made me feel worthless," I said. "I need more than apologies." Her tears fell, my resolve, calm, not cruel, hitting harder than any fight could. We started counseling a week later. Rachel admitted her insecurities, how my exhaustion made her feel unwanted, how she'd used mockery to cope. I confessed my own hurt, how her words had eroded my confidence. The sessions were raw, exposing a marriage we'd let fray. My divorce request wasn't a threat. It was a wake-up call, a demand for respect. Rachel's tears showed she felt the weight of her actions. Maybe for the first time in months, we worked to rebuild. Rachel softened, catching herself before sharp words slipped out. I opened up, sharing my stress instead of hiding it. We carved out time, date nights, long talks, no distractions. Her mockery had nearly broken us, but my response, choosing divorce over silence, forced us to face the truth. We weren't perfect, but we were trying, building on honesty, not hurt. One evening, as we walked home from dinner, Rachel took my hand, her eyes soft. "I'm glad you didn't let me push you away," she said. I nodded, the memory of her tears sharper than her laughter. Her mockery had wounded me, but my stand, calm, resolute, had changed us. We were still healing, but we were together, learning to love without tearing each other.